Okay, I'm gonna try this now. Oh man, this is upsetting. Yeah. Ooh. All right. On the off chance that the resetting the router would work, I'm gonna give that a try. And I'm also going to monitor my internet usage here. Yeah, this is kind of crappy, but whatever. Yeah, I guess let's try this again. What's really funny is I was streaming okay a little bit ago on the laptop, and that was wireless. Yeah, no, I'm jumping around 0.4, 1.1 megabits per second. This is strange. I set it to yeah, constant bit rate, and I just reset the router. It's been kind of acting weird lately. And I use the new network mode. So we'll see. And if it cuts out again, I'm just gonna be like, ugh, whatevs. I'll find out. I'll figure out something else to do. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think YouTube likes the variable bit rate. Yeah. Anyway, let's just treat this as a test, and if we're still around, then we will continue. But yeah, I appreciate the people sticking around, and eventually we will get things going on. I seem to be doing okay. Oh, look, there I am. Okay, so yeah. Hello, everyone. Okay, this is like fourth time's a charm. Hopefully, yeah, there's not like a whole bunch of uh, VODs occurring right now, spamming everyone. Yeah, it should be okay. Just let me know what the actual video quality is like. I have a cold. I had one, yeah, it started like 2 days ago, and it was one of those bad ones where like your head is pounding and you think the same thing on repeat the whole night. 1080p, word. It should be good. Good. Well, best I can do for live streaming. But yeah. A saw, dude. Why do people say that? What is that? I remember like those people that accost you on the street trying to get you to sign up for Greenpeace or Amnesty International and stuff like that, and you just kind of put on your headphones and just look straight ahead and you kind of ignore them. They always say a saw, dude, a saw, and they're actually like really touchy. Like they'll actually grab you. It's kind of fucked up. I don't appreciate that. Is there a way to contact if you want to ask me a question? Contact me on this, Twitter, bunch of other stuff. Yeah, it's a meme, hey? It's a May May. What's up, Nick Gray? Do I have an email? Yeah, I do. It's not that hard to find, but I get a lot of emails. But yeah, it's definitely not SadowickProduction@gmail.com. Not so much making a song from scratch. I'm just testing out the streaming situation. But it looks like we're doing okay. Yeah, a ghost in the machine, I suppose. But yeah. So there was a question before, and I was kind of in the middle of answering it. And it's whether or not I had received a comment from Native Instruments or anyone else online from the response of the Massive X video. And I have to say that I could have done better with that whole thing, and I could have been more thorough and a little bit more concise. The reason why the original video, it wasn't removed, it was unlisted. And was reminded that I should not be doing that sort of thing. Just because there's no winning and I open myself up for action that can be taken against me. And the aliasing video apparently, well, not apparently, that's kind of dismissive. Looking back, like hindsight is always 20/20. Looking back, like it wasn't that accurate. And the aliasing that was there is minimal. But I still kind of have this idea that if you're going to improve anything, start with that. Start with, improving your, anti-aliasing filters and oversampling and stuff like that. So that sort of thing doesn't, get kind of discussed online. You know what I mean? When you make a follow-up synth that has been criticized for its aliasing, and mind you, it's from 2007. That's like an easy thing that you can improve upon, right? You can be like, look at how high quality these oscillators are. Look at these new wave tables. They're interpolated. They're blah blah blah. We have all this crazy stuff. No, it's like the same kind of compromise was made in a synth in 2019. And I don't know if I was a synth manufacturer or I was the head of product development or even a beta tester, I would have said that. I'd be like, guys, you gotta like at least put in like an eco mode and then a high quality mode for assholes like me online. You know what I mean? Like that should be, very apparent in my opinion. So did I get response from NI? Technically I did not. I did have some contact from people affiliated, and I'm going to choose my words very carefully here because I don't want to say anything false. Because I'll give you an example. If a company with a marketing department kind of goes undercover and has social media accounts and like forum accounts that do not disclose that they are, affiliated with the company. IK Multimedia does this correctly. They have a presence, and the guy he immediately discloses that he works for IK Multimedia, and his name's Obi, and he's pretty cool, and it's black and white and blah blah blah. Some companies, allegedly, I'm not saying any company in particular, may have forum users, Twitter users, YouTube users online. They in this company that I'm talking about, which is unrelated to what I'm talking about, might have accounts that are several years old because they've been in the game for several years. So they seem, authentic. So it's like active forum users that are shared between people in the marketing department. And, it doesn't take rocket appliances to kind of connect the dots and say, hey, if I was running a company that made a product and there were communities online discussing my product or products like my product, I would want to kind of inject into the narrative a little bit and kind of control the narrative. And I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just giving you a thought experiment because I'm trying to be very careful with my words here. That happened, and I was freaked a tiny bit, and I received public and private messages and comments, and they were obviously trying to get me to redact my statements, and they were trying to psychologically figure out what would make me do that. So, you see a guy online like, me or whatever, who has a following of however many people, you would assume that I would be overly concerned about my reputation. So a bunch of people, different accounts, were telling me that I was ruining my reputation. It's like, you're ruining your reputation, you're ruining your reputation. You know what? My reputation is that, I'm a human. I have an opinion. I try to be as accurate as I can. And, you know, like I will burn this YouTube channel to the ground before I really worry about my reputation. Like, my reputation is what? Like, I expose myself, you know what I mean? Like, it's part of my thing. And I know that's not very accurate, but it's like, if all I'm being is me, I don't need to worry about my reputation. But they were trying to maybe get inside my head and psychologically make me question my actions, and they wanted me to worry about my reputation. Like, that's the most important thing in the world to me. You know, which is not my online reputation. In the hierarchy of importance, it's not that high up there. You know what I mean? Um, I'm not saying that the particular company that this topic of conversation. I'm not saying that they did that. I'm saying this is just a thought experiment. Um. Anyway. And you know, I learned something recently. After all this, is I'm not as resilient as I was. Like, I could, you know, put out a thing and be like, here's my opinion, here's the whatever, you know what I mean? Right or wrong, I'm gonna say it. And, people will be like, you suck, whatever. But this time around, it got to, I'm not as mentally strong as I was. I've had a fucking asshole of a last year, and I'm very much diminished, both physically, mentally, and psychologically. And that kind of got to me. And then I started worrying about, the repercussions of this whole thing. I started to get kind of paranoid for a little bit. And I was like, oh shit. And, like, it's not uncommon for, it's illegal, but it's not uncommon for a DMCA takedown notices to occur. And, my channel could have got shut down, even though that's illegal, even though they wouldn't do that. But, I got kind of scared, and, I was somewhat gaslighted. I was like, am I being unreasonable? Am I the only one on the planet that has this feeling that this plugin that is a it's supposed to be a leap forward, and it has the massive name. It has a prestige to it. It's very important. It's one of the greatest, digital hybrid, you know, wave scanning, virtual analog, all these really cool things with the routing and all that. It came out in like 2007. It changed everything, and it's not just the dubstep thing that happened after it was out. It was more meant to be a. It's based loosely on the architecture, three oscillator architecture of the Moog, but then it's updated with like wave scanning and stuff like that. And I was like, am I being unreasonable? Like, am I not seeing something? And, am I just looking for things that disappoint me because I don't like the synth? And it's like, maybe I am worried about my reputation. Maybe I did fuck up, essentially. And I, yeah, I kind of withdrew a little bit. That makes any sense? And then I came back out with a more kind of concise video. And the ability to the ability for the certain people on certain forums, let's just say that, the ability for them to cheerlead and rationalize poor design decisions is beyond fascinating to me. Like the very idea that you can use an LFO as an oscillator, as a sound source, you can use them as auxiliary oscillators is really cool, but it's not band limited. So you get really bad aliasing. And then they say you don't want your LFOs anti-aliased because, it doesn't make sense. But I'm saying, yeah, that's okay, that's cool. But when they're used as an audio source, maybe they should be. I don't know. The ability to rationalize that was kind of weird. And I was accused of having a victim complex, and I'm just like, am I turning into Boogie 2988 or something? It's wacky. And it's the very idea that I wanted attention, and maybe I did. Like I made a video and I gave it a provocative title. Because I found it to be ridiculous. And, that's my thing, and that's kind of what I do. And I would have done it differently, definitely, 100%. I would have done this whole thing a little bit differently. But even people offering constructive criticism are, shot down. It's like this company can do no wrong. The plugin is fine the way it is because use your ears. And I'm just like, dude, no, that's not it. When the frickin' and this is just beyond weird to me. What's really interesting about Massive X is the DLL is directly readable. Like they didn't obfuscate some of the code, and you can actually see the libraries that they called upon. So like even the build is kind of weird, but the very idea that the shape of the sustain in the amp envelope also affects the release, but there's no visual representation of that occurring. It's weird, and another psychological mindfuck that was pulled on me. This was all, a lot of this was private message, by the way, and I'm not going to show those because whatever. But the very idea is like you should have went to us. You should have came to us and asked us how to do things, and we would have basically saying it's like you should have came here and you should have deferred to our opinion. And I found that to be ridiculous. And I when the dust was kind of in the air, I did that poll, and yeah, it turns out like 20% of people are okay with the synth. The other 80% 80% of people that I poll, which is close to like 600 people, um, stated that they would have been fine with the delay. Right? It's not a complete synth, and on this forum, I challenged. I'm like, look, the shape adjusts the release. Okay, so you get your own shape for the attack, right? Your own shape, right? Really cool. Your own shape here. But the release is, you don't get your own release. You don't get your own shape for the release. And I was like really confused as to why the release was changing. And I was, yeah, they said I didn't know. So this, and they gave me like this weird, wacky workaround of, when you let go of a note, the shape would modulate. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not going to do that. In 2019, you should actually have a visual representation of what's going on. And, I don't need to look that further back to, give an example of a synth that Massive was based on, called Massive, where there's actual like visual representation of the envelopes. I don't know, it's not that much out of the question to have those. The images are nice, but the exciter envelope is all wrong. This attack here is actually the release, and this is actually the attack. And I demonstrated that, and they basically accused of I wasn't using the exciter in the right way, but I was trying to explain what it did. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, the envelope's no visual response. It's, I'm beating a dead horse over here, but yeah, yeah, the wavetable has been exported, but it's more about the shaping of the wavetables that makes it interesting. What it is it's basically just a fancy phase modulation going on under the hood, as far as I've heard from other developers. And yeah, people. I think it's like not buyer's regret. It's a cognitive bias. There's a big list of cognitive biases that we have, and it's good to be aware of my own. So I'll take that. But you tend to put more value on something that you already bought, even if you find out later that it's of cheaper quality, because you don't want to regret the purchase and you don't want to have your ego damaged. I'd look it up, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, so it's one of those things. And that is the answer to that question. But yeah, no fallout. It's no direct response. And I don't think that there would be. I don't think that is it's kind of, professional to not say or respond to criticism in that way. There's a weird kind of dance when you are a company. But oh my goodness, it is such a disaster. And yeah, damage control. I guess damage control is worth it. A bunch of people bought it, like pre-bought it, only to find out that their processor isn't supported. Ugh. But yeah. But the idea of a company kind of having sock puppets online. Waves did this, and it's hard to find anything online regarding this. But as far as I recall, there was a company that incentivized their users to kind of correct the record online in social media in exchange for free plugins. And I think that's illegal, and I think that's why it's not around anymore, and it's hard to find any evidence of this online. You know, it's like this is one of those controversies that we're gonna look back on and be like, what the heck was that about? You know what I mean? Kind of like the Tone 2 fiasco. Hello, everybody. Yeah, the Tone 2 and the reaction to that. I think they broke a couple laws too. Yeah, it's kind of like, you're learning what to do, what not to do, because a lot of the discussions online, it's like the comments is a lot of the positive ones seem kind of fake, but then the negative ones are overwhelming. You're very welcome, Danny Deluxe. Heart. But yeah, no, and I'm pleased my internet is working again. Hopefully we're all good in the hood. While I drink out of my Stranger Things cup. I haven't watched the show. I don't even know what it's about. It's about things that are strange. Tone 2 fiasco. This is not alleged. They they had in some of their demo releases a couple years ago. They had they basically scanned your computer for other software that may have been you it scanned the registry, and it scanned your plugin folder for plugins that were cracked. And it would kind of make that all kind of obsolete, and it would make hold on, I'll just tell you. It was a big thing, and they don't do it anymore. NFO. And that's what I'm just like, ugh, yeah. Let me see. No. It was essentially they installed malware on your computer. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, it does. It did. It did something called exit Windows, which is a command. It had also deleted fire, so it would actually like shut down your computer if you tried to run it, which to me is a dick fucking move. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, it was a um, this is in the public record, so it's the very rare occasion that I'll talk about piracy openly. But I remember this was a big thing. Yeah, it happened around 5 years ago. So it was Team Air. They're no longer around. And they basically stated and accused that it was the equivalent of malware. And he creates empty bogus registry keys, alters the host file, which is not cool, and hold on. Yeah, it manipulated the registry, and it was very poor techniques. Did some file dropping in multiple system 32 driver something or other hosts. Deletion of files, phone home notification, and exit Windows calls, which causes the machine to shut down. DLL unpack checks and registry scanning. Um, and yeah, he scanned all Tone 2 and ReFX registry entries and blacklisted serials um, when you installed the program or demo or whatever. So this team was cracking some garbage release by Tone 2 and discovered all this crazy stuff that they were doing. Um, when you see, you know, when you installed the thing. Um, and basically, what he was doing is he was doing things that were very questionable and could cause damage to the computer, or damage to the file system. And yeah, yeah, it was with the release of Gladiator 2. And it was a big thing, and it was rationalized because the piracy, but then people were just like, no, this is illegal. And then he basically stated that, we'll do everything to protect our blah, blah, blah. And then they stopped doing it. But that, talking about, reputation being damaged, I'm always like, ugh, Tone 2. Time bombs are fine. Yuhi, they invoke time bombs. That's not so much, damaging files and stuff like that. They're using, Windows API stuff. The typical stuff, non-intrusively, like date time and all that fun stuff. And apparently it's very clever. So, yeah. No, I wasn't talking about NI, I was talking about Tone 2. But I remember when that came about, and then, the last major controversy before this, in my opinion, I think it was when iLock was cracked. And I remember that, and I was like, "What the heck just happened here?" And what was really interesting about that is it was cracked by just someone who was bored and wanted to kind of accomplish a thing. And apparently it was very easy. So that there's that thing. But then it's like people went full damage control, and that's what you gotta be suspect of things in forums like that, especially gear sluts, because they don't want any kind of dissonance in the in the discussions, because they will bend over backwards for advertisers. So a lot of these forums are compromised. Let's just say that. It's the same with the. Um, it's the same with. Oh my God, my brain. It's the same in the video game industry. It's like, you can't write bad reviews because in Modern Warfare 2, Call of Age of Duty, Skyrim won't advertise on your webpage. So yeah, and it brings it into like journalistic integrity, and there's some talk about, if you're critical of stuff, you won't be allowed into NAM, and it's just a mess. And you know what? I'll just stay here, and it's my safe haven. Things like that. Yeah, apparently Yuhi does time bombs, and it's obfuscated code. He talks about it on KVR, and he gets really, really clever. There's clever stuff within there, and he's always kind of allegedly one step ahead of the crackers. What are we making today? We are making not a whole lot. Does the virus TI save CPU and memory when it's integrated in the DAW? Oh yeah, all the audio is processed within the actual unit. So yeah, it does save CPU. But CPU these days shouldn't be that much of a problem or an issue. Yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm partial to to virus synths. I do enjoy them. And, they're good to me. They can sound like a lot of things. Yeah, no problemo. Yeah. I'm very excited for Valkyrie. Valkyrie synth. I think that's what it's called now. Yeah. Oh, it's called Kyra. And yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty beefy boy. Yeah, it's FPGA based synth. It's pretty beefy. Yeah, a guy made it, developed it, and then Waldorf bought it, and yeah, I guess they're revamping it. Yeah. Zoom. Yeah, it's a super duper. Yeah, it has that kind of classic Waldorf effect sort of thing. To save panel stuff. The original, like, come on. The original had an amazing panel. I did enjoy that one a lot more. If I can find it. Effing Windows 98. Yeah. Okay, how do I open a new tab? Yeah, he was very much inspired by the. These are the same knobs on the Access virus, and same buttons too. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. There it is. And it was meant to be, yeah, a virus killer, I guess. I don't freaking know. Yeah, but it's made by a guy in England, and he saw a hole in the market, and he's just like, hey. And then yeah, I bet he's making a pretty penny now. Not digital plastic. Come on. Anyway, 1200 oscillators. And this just looks like Toys R Us. Like, come on, guys. Could have been a little bit different there. But yeah, I guess, there's buttons for everything. Ugh. Yeah, Diva has a really good supersaw emulation. Yeah, we'll just do Jupiter 8. Right? That's pretty good. Right? And oh wait, no. Right. It's pretty decently authentic, in my opinion. Back in the day, I did a comparison of that. Diva does sound good on the bottom end because the oscillators have, they're more rounded on the low end compared to on the high end. It's the same thing that the virus does, right? My health is good. I have a cold, but the immune system is working quite well. Right, so I'll just... Nope. Wait, is there a delay in there? Oh. I'll show you. This is why Diva sounds so good. There's a lot of clever stuff going on in Diva. I'll just show you now. And I'll just fill that. All right. So we'll go down. No, we'll go up. Right? That's what that looks like. But as we go down, shit gets warm or rounded. Probably not the best example. Maybe like a guy right here. So it's more of like, like non-linearities and asymmetrical stuff. Yeah, maybe the square. Oh, wait. Okay, a square is a better example, probably. I'm probably not explaining it that well. Yeah, so it's not like a typical kind of saw, it's more rounded. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. Yeah, Diva it's a, what's it called? A dinosaur something rather synth? Stands for something. But yeah, Diva's pretty dope. OTT. I like doing weird effecty things. But yeah. OTT, more like no TT. Is this live? Yes, it is. Nord stuff. Nord stuff is pretty good. I have a Nord 3 somewhere around here. And yeah, it's they're quite enjoyable. I've seen them just mainly used for stage. They're good stage synths. But yeah. Yeah, we got some virus converts here. Yeah, one of the viruses is upstairs. It's the big keyboard one. And I was playing with it. I was making some wacky stuff with it. It's one of those special things. Nord Stage 3. Yeah. They're robust, definitely. And yeah, they can emulate everything. So if you're a gigging keyboardist, everything's just readily there, I should say. Words. And things of that nature. Yeah, there is a reason why it's called stage. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, what do they do? They do, like keys, Rhodes, organs. What else? Snord. Yeah, they do a bunch of things. Not so great for studio stuff. Um, yeah. Yeah, they do a bunch of stuff. I don't need to explain. But yeah, piano, organ, synth, effects, rotary speakers. Also acoustic pianos. Yeah. It's an emulation of something that's trying to emulate a piano. Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. 60 people. I think about VSTs taking up too much CPU. Depends on your buffer, depends on a bunch of other things. I would be concerned. Yeah, you can freeze sections, but yeah. You know what? I spend money so I don't have to deal with that. If you could pick one VST and one hardware synth, what would it be? Massive X and um I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough question. Well, one synth, yeah, I would, if there was a fire, I'd run back in the house and grab the virus polar. Um, but as for synth, Serum is just so flexible and versatile. If you could instantly master one genre of music you never took the time to master, which would that be? Um, what's that ADD music that's like super complex? Noisia and Flume, whatever that is, that'd be cool to you know. If I could have one thing downloaded into my brain, it would be all that stuff, like how that occurs. And then yeah, like that could be just applied to everything else, really. Meh. I don't like how that's moving around too much there. Hmm. Yeah. Just resample a sound of a car failing to start a bunch of times and you use an LFO. I think it's a lot more complicated than that. Yeah. I like this workflow. It's kind of like just keep on going. That's not the Sadowick method. That's just what you did back in the day when, we were making all this on freaking calculators. Okay. More freezing, more flattening. Yeah. No, I appreciate Noisia. Flume, I can't name a single song. I'm sorry. That's not me being elitist. I don't know. I don't know that sort of thing, actually. Meh. Mhm. Oh, yes. Turn that down a little bit. Commit and get things done. Exactly. Exactly. Let's do that. Meh. Uh, mm. This is the first sample pack that I bought. I bought both of them, and I was like, "Oh, there it is." So I get it. Yeah. What does that sound like? I think I might like that one a bit more. Yeah, I play. Oh man, that sounds like garbage. Never mind. All right, we got a groove thing going on there. Let's see if we can sample something here. Yeah, just use the freaking Vanguard opening synth as something. Yeah, something like that. To MIDI. What was this last one here? I don't like it. I don't like it anymore. Yeah, let's just, artificially inflate size. Anyway, let's see if we can find something. Yeah. Why is it so clicky? Good job. Good job, Umek. If you're gonna avoid working with anyone, do not work with Umek. Okay, you know what? Not gonna do that. Did my 5. What's wrong with Umac? I don't know. I have a lot of grievances. I want an awesome stab or something. Let's just get some in there. Well, I can't go outside because, you know, I can't bring this with me. That'd be pretty boring. Yeah, those are all garb. Nope. Nope. Actually, this one sounds okay. It sounds good with a bit of echo. Yeah, well, you can contact support. I'm sure they'll get to you right away. This one's gonna be dark. There. Stop snapping! What's going on? You want to make some acid? Dude, acid. It's a different video. I did a video on pigments. I found it to be pretty interesting, but it's not much of anything, nothing to really write home about, in my opinion. These are only my opinions. Yeah, I always gush about this 6 dB per octave filter that's on Pro Q3. Yeah. I need one of those super fast hi-hats. In there. No, wait, what am I doing? You know when you have weird muscle memory? That's not even memory. How's my CPU so low? It's because I spent a lot of frickin' money to not have to deal with that. Extract grooves. Did I watch a John Jones fight? Yes, I did. It's interesting that he's not kind of as dominant as he was before, he was caught with PEDs. And yeah, he had a split decision win against a guy who didn't have knees anymore. So yeah, I miss the Yeah, TRT days. Yeah. Yeah. And, it's interesting that there's not as many injuries anymore, right? Because the conspiracy is back in the day, if you got a surprise test and you knew you were gonna essentially piss hot, as they say, then you would pull out of the fight due to injury, and then you were out of competition. So then your test wouldn't count. I don't know if that's actually true, but yeah, it was a way to skirt that. And I don't know, John Jones, he's getting some favorable treatment, and the reason why is because probably Conor McGregor is not gonna take part in, the ESPN shit, and yeah. And maybe he's asking too much money. I don't freaking know, but yeah, that's not my job. Um, yeah, the Ben Askren event. Um, that was the first time in a long time that I was legitimately scared. Because you get your bell rung a lot in that sport, and I was there's this video online. Okay, so when your brain experiences trauma, uh, it essentially kind of shuts off to protect itself, and that's called a concussion. That's brain damage. And when that happens, depending on the severity, you do something called a fencing response. It's where your body kind of locks up in this weird way. Sometimes your hands go inwards, and that happens when the brainstem is moved around. And you notice that the toes kind of lock up, and when you see that, I get really freaked out because people. I'm not gonna pretend to know what it's like, but I've been watching the sport since I was 7, and that was probably the first such occasion that I was legitimately scared. Like Anderson Silva breaking his leg, um, was shocking, but not life threatening. This is different, and I was talking about a video that I've seen online, like a forklift backs up against a bucket, and the bucket flies across. It's like a security camera. Bucket flies and then hits a guy in the head, and he does the same not gated, the fencing response. I'm just gonna refresh my memory. Or something. Was it a bucket or was it a bucket fell on him? Anyway, he had the same kind of response. So that is a very rare occasion when a wrestler changes levels while running forward to take you down. And, Bill Burr, I read on Twitter that he described it as a man trying to tackle a car. And, running forward while moving your head down, someone running towards you and kicking, kneeing upwards, hitting the side of the head, is probably the most force. Maybe the most, like, I don't know what the measurement is, but it's the most force that you could possibly get, and that's including maybe spiking, which is illegal. You know, someone has you in an arm bar or whatever, and you lift them up, and then you're allowed to slam them down on their head only because they're in control of that situation. That's compared to this, that's not that much force. And yeah, Chael Sonnen released a video, and he essentially echoed and validated my fear. That was probably the most scariest thing that I've seen. Our brains are very fragile. When that much for like people people f- people get into like bar fights, right? And there's a bit of a scrap, and then the person falls backwards, lands, and hits their head on concrete, and they hemorrhage and they die. That's not outside the realm of possibility. And a person running towards you at full speed, compounded with the speed of their knee, with their core and their leg muscles and that freaking hard kneecap coming up, whilst you are running full speed and ducking down, that is the worst combination of force that I think you can get. It was so much force that a man a man running forward, diving down, was stopped in that very position, and then fell back. So, like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like running into a wall. Like, he didn't go forward any, like, as soon as the impact hit, he stopped in that point. And yeah, very difficult to watch. And yeah, I'm glad he was okay. He didn't know what was going on until like he was at the hospital. And yeah, that was scary, and it was scary by how fast the doctor ran in. Not a lot of people noticed that. And it's kind of like, when I'm on a plane, I'm a bit of a nervous flyer. um, so what I do to kind of calm is I'm always watching the flight attendants. I'm always watching them, and there's like turbulence and stuff or whatever. I watch them, and if they don't react, then I feel safe, right? When a doctor runs in that quickly, then you know that, it's very, very serious. Um, and yeah, no, I was like, okay. When it happened, I was like, oh fuck, okay. First death in the UFC, it's happening right now. That's honestly what I thought. Because it's not a matter of if, it's when. And there's like, uh, preventative measures for that sort of thing, doctor's clearance, MRIs, CT scans, things like that, like pre-medical stuff. But, you know, it's it was a severe concussion. very severe. Probably one of the more severe concussions that there's been. And yeah, the speed and the brutality of it um, was one of those difficult things. And you know, the antics afterwards. I don't really, yeah, I don't really respect the other fighter. Yeah, true animosity is something that I don't appreciate in the sport. You know, it's all fun and good, it's all well and good to like promote the fight and to kind of go back and forth and be entertaining, but yeah, I don't think it's a career ender, but he might get chinny after this. Kind of like, you know, name your fighter. It after something like this, it's easier to get KO'd again because the brain wants to kind of protect itself. But I'd like to know like what a neurologist has to say about this sort of thing, because football players have died. And football players, they run at each other, right, in the same force. And you know, apparently, yeah, he passed all medicals. You know, they looked at him very closely, made sure there was no bleeds or I don't know, hemorrhages or whatever. But I think, yeah, it was a shocking thing. Yeah. you know, it's not that I'm not a fan, but I am kind of, yeah, I'm kind of a fan of everyone. I think they're all kind of interesting characters and interesting talkers, and they're, you know, they're fascinating people because they do stuff that's, you know, magic to me. Um, but yeah, that's basically it. And then the John Jones thing, yeah, it was just kind of, you know, mediocre. You know, maybe he was cautious. Maybe he's like we're the same age. Like he's supposed to be in his prime now, and he's not. He's not too much. He's not too exciting right now. Apparently, yeah, he's very sensitive and bothered about stuff. People online, even if like you know, 10,000 people are cheering for him and one person is booing him, they get really upset. It's not easy being a John Jones fan, I suppose. Yeah, I saw that. That was yesterday. And he seems to be able to speak well. He was kind of tripping up on enunciating, whatever. And, you know, but he seems very lucid. And, yeah, who knows? You know, that kind of stuff just happens all the time in other sports. But yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Yeah, it was difficult to watch. I was scared. I was scared. It wasn't like an oh my god. It was like a oh shit. This is gonna change everything. It's finally happening. You know what I mean? You know, and that's just it's gonna be one of those very traumatic things, and it's gonna happen. And it almost happened to Data 5000. His heart gave out. Apparently, I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. Anyway, let's get back to music. That's cool. It's like a bit of expression in there. Okay. Oh, thanks. It's just a little idea. An idea. Yeah, got a little bit of movement there. Sounds cool. I'm not going to be able to listen to anything, friend. If I do, my internet will cut out. But I'm going to be doing a feedback video or stream soon. It's a kilohertz ensemble. It's like a stereo spread unison thing. It's pretty neat. I do enjoy these things. I don't want that. Okay. Why did you let me move? Weirdness. Yeah, this will be as a VOD at some point. Yeah, definitely. This will be a VOD. Get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, someone said that Diva would be good in this. Oh, look, it's me. Yeah, let me just try to do something. You know, I can't. My ears are so freaking plugged, which is not an excuse. I'm gonna have to reference something. Yeah, so it's A flat. Around there. Or G sharp. Wait. I could just look at it, right? Oh my god, my brain. This is so embarrassing. Yeah, A sharp. A sharp, allegedly. It's somewhere in there. You know, but it doesn't matter because it's just whatever. Oh my god. That sounds contextually appropriate. It needs to be monophonic. No, no, no. Oh, no. There. I was like, where is it? Hmm. I'm so traumatized. I would check my hands when I cough. Anyway. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for all the memberships too. There's 20 members only videos now, and members only video. They're only members only for a little while until because I do a bunch of videos, and I have like I plan on having like a repository, so like if I can't do videos for a while, I'll just upload them. But yeah. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was doing synth stuff. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, I want it to sound weird. Mm. No, 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 no. Okay. This shit is lit at ASF, bro. It is lit, fam. Pharmacologically lit. Jeez. No, I'm gonna put that in the low end. Oh no, oh, there it is. Ah. Yeah, it is kind of Half-Life-ish. I'm gonna freeze and flatten that now. That's how I roll. Mm. Making music is fun. Yes, that starts a little bit late. Yeah. Which is fine by me. I'll just move that over. What the heck is going on here? What the hell? That works. That works for me indeed. All right. You can also ask me questions too, if you want. Maybe some rides are in order. Open a hi-hat maybe? I'm indecisive. going on here? Why does that sound like it's slow? Confusing myself here. That does sound a little bit slow. Oh, maybe it's because of the groove I'm using. Is it? Like, yeah, that just shifts one of the... Weird. What the heck is going on? Oh, is it my... Are the lengths weird? No. Or are my ears playing tricks with me? Am I psyching myself out? I don't know. What is that? Okay. Oh, I see. So they're a little bit ahead. Okay. Oh, wow. I think this is the equivalent of painting yourself into a corner. All right. Anyway. Okay, so I got a question. What point do you start building out your mix template? Basically right away. Just how I've been working lately is just doing it as I go. Like I don't wait, right? I grouped the hats and then the drums and percussion, and now I'm just gonna have the synths and stuff. I'm gonna group those and all sorts of fun stuff. But in terms of a mix template, I don't, outside from the obvious, I don't know of anyone who has a single template. Everything is kind of different. But yeah. I should put that in that group as well. You know what? No, it wants to live outside. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to live outside. Yeah. Like, like I have like the usual stuff on my master, which is, utility to swap the left and right because of just the reason why I do that is because I have a pair of headphones and I like the cable to be on one side, so I do this, and then for everything else I swap. It's a weird setup. And then just Pro L2. Just I've always had a limiter on the master. Groups are buses, yeah. Sends are also, yeah. It's just a bus is when a CPU wants to for like a CPU to communicate with the RAM. There is a bus, and it's a collection of traces that goes from the CPU to RAM. It's just a collection of things. Um, and yeah, there's busing, there's sends, there's parallel stuff. Well, the default is series and all that fun stuff. And how they differ is a good example of let's say a group. Difference between a group and a bus. So a group is like everything is kind of you know you select a bunch of things, you right click and you create a group. And doing that is not that easy on a mixing console. So what you do is you send all these things not to the master, right? Like you're not sending these to it already sets it up, audio to drums and perks, which is right here. You would send these to another channel, and everything would be fed into one channel. So they're essentially the same thing. And the difference between, it's not exactly what you asked, but the difference between groups and buses and sends is a send is useful for when you want kind of a global reverb like this, say. Could be a reverb unit, could be anything, could be a delay, could be plate, could be whatever. And then you have these awesome send knobs, and you just send things to the send here, and then the wet is processed and it's sent. Everything here is sent to the master. So there's all sorts of stuff. Yeah, if we look at the SSL channel strip, that's hardware. Hardware. Or any mixer, really, but, the SSL is, okay, they're not showing it. Mind you, it is quite a long strip. Yeah, not a single, am I not seeing this? Anyway, on every single channel, there's a way to route things around and send some stuff. I don't have an SSL with me because I don't have 80 grand laying around. Well, I might. I have to look really hard. But yeah, that's kind of where the terminology came from. And, it has its usage. Having everything into one single reverb kind of eases processing power or processing resources, and things sound a little bit more natural, like they're all in the same space. Yeah. Bus is essentially an old school group, right? And then you had, multiple options of, you'd use like a patch bay or something like that, or something, and you'd have your drums to the master, but then you'd also send those drums to another bus to be compressed or processed in an extreme way. And then you'd mix in that, and that's New York compression, parallel processing. But we do that nowadays directly within the audio effect rack down here. But yeah, groups and buses are essentially, interchangeable. For example, if I wanted to create a bus within a group, I can do that. I just group this, and then now I have a separate chain. This is essentially a separate bus. Then after that, it's summed together within the group. Something that you couldn't do back in the day, but you can do now. And stuff like that. And buses, they were necessary because we didn't have you know the vast amount of disk space and the ability to record multiple things at once. No, we could, but to do it, it was very expensive. So yeah, all your drums would go onto one track, and that would be on tape, and then your guitar, and then your blah blah blah. Can you automate signature changes and in clip view? You cannot, but in your scene selection here, I'll just duplicate this. You can actually rename it. So this one's 129, right? BPM, and it'll change into like a cool color. And then this one, we can change this to 133 BPM, right? And this will change the BPM within the. It'll automatically change it, so we can go to 133. And it'll change it back and forth, which is a neat little feature. And you can do performances with different tracks at different speeds. And I'll just rename that to 1. But automating it, you cannot. You can, I guess, show automation in new lane. Can I do that? No. So that's just doing that in the arrangement view. Show automation. That's in arrangement view. Yeah. So yeah, that sort of thing is done in arrangement view. You can't necessarily do it in session. You can slowly nudge and stuff like that, or use the fine control shift. Yeah, shift, and you can drag, and you can do more of a fine tune sort of thing. But other than that, you cannot, because where would you put it, right? Even if you could be like, hey, interpolate between this BPM and this BPM at a certain speed, rate, and that sort of stuff. No, I'm gonna leave that for now. Yeah, let's continue. Live has a very uninviting GUI. And yeah. Right away it does, and I could see where you're getting at, but the not to be defensive, which I'm not. It's a valid opinion and a valid statement. The idea of live is to have everything, like no pop-ups, right? Everything is on screen at one time, for the most part, and that has been carried over because the ability that we had back in the day, we had like these little tiny monitors, and you'd want to have stuff going on and be able to browse and launch clips and stuff. To me, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Um, Not without its limitations, which I can't think of any right now. But to me, this just kind of makes sense. And if it's too cluttered, you can like get rid of stuff and whatnot. They've tended to kind of venture away from having things very small on screen because monitors and resolutions are big these days. So you have the ability to, if you want to, contextually, you can make stuff big like that and have more kind of real estate when you really want to dial in, and then you close it and then you collapse things. Um, yeah, as opposed to other DAWs, FL Studio just it was always like I lose track of what I'm thinking and saying and doing. And with live, you kind of think about what you want to do, and it's already there, right? Or it's available by hitting a button. So you think you think about doing something, and then you're able to do it, like it's already there, kind of thing. Um, with FL Studio and stuff like that, there's menus behind there. The windows move around and stuff like that. Um, Oh, that the actual like main window is gray. Well, you can change that. Um, if you're sensitive to certain kind of light, which a lot of people are in the world, you can change stuff. I leave it on kind of default. Like some people do like this weird stuff with this. It just hurts. Or like Live 9, I remember that. But yeah, I just leave it as that. Like doing this is like, what's going on there? But I guess it's getting rid of blue because people are sensitive to blue. But yeah, front 242. I haven't. Not a lot of people know who that is these days. It's like not a form of music that is around. So that's an interesting name for sure. But yeah. But the main gripe about Ableton is just there's too much, um, or like I don't know, criticisms is like they don't understand what's going on. But it's basically two DAWs in one. Yeah, there's a live component and then the arrangement component, which is more traditional and linear and all that fun stuff. So it's up to you and things like that. They are your Beatles. Yeah, they're pretty dope. I remember I was getting into the whole electronic music scene and, MSN groups. They were, telling me you got to listen to this and this and this and all that sort of stuff. And that was one of those suggestions for sure. Yeah, Bitwig is it's more Bitwig is more deep, and Bitwig is designed to be that way. Bitwig is a somewhat of a direct competitor to Ableton. They're a block away from each other, and I think that they're both good. The only reason we got um, you know dual screen support in Ableton Live is because Bitwig did it, right? Um, these ones, they are Muteki Media drum codes. I don't think they're around anymore. They're related to Vengeance. Um, Okay. Nope. Nope. Stop it. There we go. So I always have a buffer in front of me here just because it makes things a little bit easier. Yeah. Massive X needs a lot of work. Yeah, well, a lot of people don't agree with me. And a lot of people are very militant about their favorite company. And they can do no wrong. I actually want to just draw that in. LFO tool is just like, it's the golden plugin. Do I use Saboom Base at all? No. No, I'm not. Wait, my brain just shorted out there. No, I don't use Saboom Base. I did back in the day. But yeah, there's just a big backlog of like video and stuff I need to cover. LFO clicking. And that is from the... I will show you. What you do is you just kind of even out this part. So if it's clicking like that, that means that it's snapping down to this value too quickly. Just kind of move that over. And what that does is that kind of smooths out that transition. If you round off, like, if you do it like a quick kind of snappiness on, say, like a sine wave, the beginning part will be like a square wave. So that's why by default, Ableton has fades and things going on. So yeah, now you know. Oh yeah, and we got zero crossings and stuff like that. So I'm gonna take this and do a thing. Do some pitch modulation here. No, I looked it before. Yeah, you know what? I don't need a clicky kick. Where we're going, we don't need clicky kicks. Oh, man. Anyway. Yeah, let's shape this a bit more. All right, let's get this all in there. Nope. Boom, boom. I think I got that. Wait, what I snag? I snagged that one. Can I just take that? Oh, yeah. So I'll just move that over to the starting position. Hopefully that works. Okay. My opinion on hardware running VSTs. You mean computers? Or you mean that, what's that thing called? Decimator? Regenerator? Yeah, it was a thing. Yeah, it was just a glorified rack mount computer that ran VSTs. Yeah, and I'll just move that there. needs to be shaped out. Okay. I'm gonna add just a sidechain compressor here, just to kind of even out the things. I just kind of want it to ride. Just gently, gentle. Wait, what happened? Oh, never mind. This message deleted. Type it again. You know what? Maybe I'll do a delay. Steinberg and propeller head. Retrosynth is now hardware. What's it called? Steinberg. Okay. I don't see anything. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I need to switch that over. What? What? There you go. Yeah, I can tell my ears are messed up. Steinberg retro log. Okay, let's look at the latest news for that. My ears are so plugged, I have no idea how loud I am. And I was like, why are things? That's a prototype. Prototype hardware version. Okay. My ears. Oh no. Ugh. Holy crap. My ears were plugged the entire time. Oh my god, this sounds so awful. Oh my. Well, how come you guys didn't freaking tell me? What the hell? Why didn't you tell me it sounded like bad? My ears were plugged the entire time. Okay, so it's the Steinberg Retrolog. It's a soft. It's a hardware version of a analog version of a digital. What the heck? It hurts my brain. But we've been telling you for years. Yeah, this is so bad, so bad. My ears were like plugged the entire time. Okay, let's do some repair. Okay, let's start off with just. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, it's way too freaking boomy. And I plugged my nose and I popped my ears, and now I can hear and see everything. Yeah, the entire tilt of everything is way off. But yeah, no, this is the fun. That's the fun of it, I guess. I don't know. Oh, you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go through this one by one now. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. That is awful. And elbow tool's gotta go for now. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why I couldn't hear it, and I was turning it up. I'm like, this is really loud. How come it's not working? And yeah, apparently we all know now. So, whatever. Embarrassed myself enough the last couple of months. Let's continue. actually going to draw that in proper. Can I salvage this? Yeah. Okay. And what's this? No, it's absolutely nothing. I still can barely hear anything. Still sounds pretty dope though. I really want to salvage this. Whoa. G-Force driver ready. Okay, guys, I gotta go. Thanks for letting me know. Get smoothed. These hats sound awful. And I'm gonna do a little bit more side chaining here. I want this to be ducked when the other hats come in. Right, that's cool. I don't know if it's starting to sound good or my ears are plugging up again. Yeah, but anyway, the Retrolog hardware version. What is the point of that? Okay, I trust you. It's only the right ear that is unplugged. Stuff like that. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, guys. Nothing wrong with that. No, I had a cold. Well, I have one still. Like my body hurt and I had a headache and it was very uncomfortable. And now I guess, yeah, I'm just everything plugged up. Saturate the hats. I will do no such thing. Q. I don't remember what key were we? Yeah, I think it was A sharp. Excuse me. It was A something. Yeah, why not? Ooh. accidentally double-clicked. Yeah, none of that OTT BS. Well, what if we get those two together, and then they become friends with the same reverb, and do a bit of an LFO tool here. Okay, so that panning I could probably do without. Cool. We are making music. Okay. Yes, I want that to kind of go up and then go down. Imagine that. Automating something in a synthesizer. This can join forces. Imagine that. Pretty cool. My opinion. Yeah, let's just do something here. Fuck. I need that to be triggered. My dog loves the room. What am I even doing right now? Yeah. I need a tiny bit of a break. No, I didn't switch. Like, just because I use a thing for a little while and I enjoy it, and I use it sometimes doesn't mean that I'm switching. But yeah, I might use it again soon. Yeah, what is this doing? Well, there's too many of this shit. Yep. It is techno-y techno. Anyway, I'm gonna be right back. And yeah, I'll be right back. Gotta stretch. I've been at this for 4 hours almost. But yeah, give me like a little bit. Yeah, I don't think that fits. I'll happily get rid of stuff that I disagree with. That's fantastic. Been streaming for 3 hours and 22 minutes. And yeah, no drop frames. So yeah, the joke is resetting the router that tends to work, unplugging it and plugging it back in again. Hmm. Yeah, sometimes this ensemble isn't working. It's more of a phasing sort of thing. Cool. This pleases me. Oh, tele All right. Engine difficulties. Hmm. Anyway, I might need to take off. But if the phone rings, I'm gonna have to answer it again. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. I like that. I like how it kind of rings out too. I like the fact that I can actually hear it as well. Phone. Okay. Yeah, it is quite predator-like. Mm-hmm. Phone. Anyway, I think I just wrap up this stream. Hey, no problem. Thanks for watching. Yeah. There it is. It just started to try to update. And now it's broken. I think this stream has turned into a pumpkin. Anyway. Maybe not. Okay. I think that's it for this stream. Thanks for joining.